Good morning, everybody. Before we start today's Strategy Summit, we thought we would give you an update of what has happened in Brussels and in the EU since we met last year for our summit. The EU was late to respond when the pandemic first hit Italy. Borders closed and countries turned to protectionist measures as panic spread across the continent. However, once the machinery got going, the EU came back, but the economic slowdown soon surfaced.
No one will be left behind.
We will deliver a sustainable Europe investment plan.
Our €1 trillion of investment would give investors confidence to make long-term decisions on environmentally responsible projects.
And in an effort to curb short-term gains in the capital market, the EU has introduced a classification system called taxonomy. The goal is to increase capital costs for economic activities that do not accelerate the decarbonization and the path to reaching the Paris Agreement.
We do not have the luxury to ignore this anymore.
And Europe's recovery will be green. The new budget will power the European Green Deal. It will accelerate the digitalization of Europe's economy.
And now it is also our roadmap out of this crisis, a lifeline to a better future.
Now, 5 billion of that budget was added to Horizon Europe Research and Innovation Programme, which is now set for a total of 80 billion euro for the coming 7 years. Now I want you to meet some of the leading experts from NTNU and SINTEF, those who've been involved and engaged in shaping the Horizon Europe program, and a little bit about how they work. Could you tell us what is Horizon Europe? How would you say it's different from the previous program, Horizon 2020?
So it's different in the way that the mission-oriented policies, you see how that has trickled down to Horizon Europe now. Missions which are understandable by people, to cure cancer, for instance, and it's trying to bring research back to the agenda of everybody.
So SINTEF and NTNU are the largest Norwegian contributors to European research and innovation programs. How do you prepare for these next programs?
So we have established an office in Brussels like 5 years ago, which is continuously working with the framework programs. We are also mobilizing industry and public stakeholders towards these programs where so much can be harvested from the Norwegian side and from Europe.
How would you argue that it is worth it for all these other stakeholders to join us in this endeavor?
So the leverage effect of being part of the European framework programs is really large. If you look to each euro spent in the European framework programs, you get 10 to 15 times access to research results, which is kind of unique. So when you conduct research and you're part of this European effort on bringing forward green solutions, digital age and so forth, that can give a leverage effect also in the marketplace.
But Nils, you know the EU, things are changing. There is a Green Deal. The EU seems to be a little bit more in a hurry. How is that reflected in this new program?
Well, we see that in the program they are trying to get now larger projects, also to push towards higher maturity, technology level maturity. This is going to be a challenge for us, but we're up to the challenge, I think. And the importance here is really that the industry now has even more possibilities to be part of this program as it's pushing the TRL level further up.
Here we stand at the port of Trondheim on the Gunerius research vessels. And I'm joined with Alexandra Nates, who is project manager at NTNU Oceans. So I have to ask you, what is the Green Deal? What does it mean for you?
Well, of course, we know that the Green Deal has set very high ambitions, especially on the zero emission targets, which we are all looking at. Will this be feasible? And here also, I think aquaculture can play a very definite role, or the production of food, because there are extractive species, such as the seaweed, microalgae, shellfish, taking up carbon from the environment, and they play this they can contribute to these zero emission targets. I think what is good with this technology platform is that it puts together stakeholders from very different groups. So we have industry, we have feed companies, technology developers, producers of very different kind of species that all work together, and researchers, of course, students as well, educational programs that are important. So they all come together towards a common target. And that is what is driving, I think, me and the technology platform to work more together towards the Commission and setting priorities on what is really needed by the sector to do research and innovation on.
I hope you have enjoyed this brief update about EU developments and the interactions with two of the leading experts and participants from NTNU and SINTEF in the work of EU Horizon Europe. And now, enjoy the conference.